Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at my view board, the website, my view board, and look at the website side of it a little bit, not a few of the functions on the website. So let me share, cut my fat head out here and share with you a little bit of how to access the my view board on the website. Now, you might want to do this, if you're at home. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. uh, the compatibility with the file isn't the file compatibility with the view boards at school. The program there doesn't isn't as nice as we'd like, but it does allow you to do some stuff from home. I've done a few things from home, and it does allow you to set up your default settings on the viewboard based on what you see. So if I go to myviewboard.com and sign in with Google, that's how I want to go in to sign in with Google when I sign in with my Google account. And then I go to there's several different options here. You can convert files. You could convert to whiteboard. You can convert smartboard files and other files, smart notebook files that we've had at school. You can convert those as well. Um, you can go if you go back home. You can get you can do something called My Classroom, where you can set up a classroom. Um, for students to be able to access your classroom and your whiteboard. You can set up a whiteboard um, just to show and present. And this looks like the one we're used to seeing on our whiteboards at school. Um, the whiteboards at school. Unfortunately, a couple different things here. It's limiting because the functions aren't as there aren't as many functions, and number two, the way that they save the files for whatever reason isn't compatible with the that I found isn't compatible with the view board at school. The file they're different file types that they're saving for whatever reason. We didn't necessarily have formal training on this, so it's a little difficult to say. But some of the functions are some of the functions are similar. So, for example, to import something, you go to the magic box just like you would on your view board, the magic box, and you can import sources from your Google Drive and web. You can import web pages onto your screen. So I'm going to find one from the local drive here, from my local drive here, something that I want to import. And I will import something about the bulk and powder keg. Um, and I will put it in here. And then it's going to be a little small. I noticed that last night, just depending on the size. So if I click on it, if I use the pointer and click on it, a little menu comes up that lets me expand on things, duplicate, and do some other functions. I can lock it into place, which is helpful, or I can click on the picture button for whatever reason, and that seems to make it a little bit bigger. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. But that seems to make it a little bit bigger. And just like at school, you have different slides and different slide shows that you can have there as well. So based on that, then I'm able to do some, just I'm able to erase markings. I'm able to draw different types of shapes. I'm able to type the text on the canvas. I'm able to marker and highlight, things like I would like to do on the map. Major nationalities in Eastern Europe in 1914. This is pre World War One here, and then let's say I want to put another image in, so then I can go to the this thing. Then I can go here and I can show and hide. If I can get this thing is in my way because it's my screencast thing. Let me get that out of the way. And then if I go here, then I can add another image or any sort of image. But say I wanted to add another image. There was one I wanted to show. I'd click on import. I have to click on import, and then let's say I want to add that one. That one's relevant to what I'm doing right now. And again, here it is. So if I go back to my pointer and click on that, there's different options. I can spread it. I can trash it. I can duplicate it. I can crop it, but I just want to kind of make it bigger here so that I can see it. This just is preparation mode, and this is presentation mode. You can also add different backgrounds from here as well. So then I can save the file by exporting it to what they call a quick board. You can export to call a QuickBoard. You can save it just like you would your ViewBoard, but you're doing it in here in your Google Drive under a QuickBoard file name. I don't know, so then it comes up in your Google Drive under a QuickBoard file. You can import files from Google Drive. Your best tip for importing files from Google Drive is to, when you're importing files from Google Drive, is to make a special folder. Something, I make a copy of something I want to import, and then say import to whiteboard. I made a file that says import to whiteboard. So that way I've got the files that are quick and handy. I might make a copy of them if I want to do that. Then I might make a copy of them if I want to be able to do that. So um, let me get my edit. You can also undo. You can also undo items if you don't want them. You can type text on the screen in any font. You can draw text on the screen. And again, the magic box is there to import resources. They're not quite as many there. Let's say you wanted to save it and start a new one. You could go back. We could go back to user profile. We can go back to You can go back to my whiteboard to get out of here. We'd close that, or we'd close this out. To get back, you can move things around as you want. You can go back to my view board on another tab. That's the easiest way to do it, and look at different functions. I've showed you that. There's some tutorial videos hidden here as well. This is the throw. So you can, if you throw to a whiteboard, I want to throw to my whiteboard at school. I could throw a file to my whiteboard at school. Share my screen with the whiteboard. Receive a whiteboard on my screen. And then we want to look at different different aspects of finding setting your file. One of the things you could do on here is set your backgrounds for how your whiteboard looks at school. So this is where you can do that. Whiteboard, remote control. Um, you can you're not tied into any instance. You can control something from a remote area as well. Okay, so one more thing, that we always go back to the home page to see my viewboard. The other thing I do want to show you, and I was showing you, I'm giving you a little overview. I guess I want to show you Classroom quickly here, the My Classroom. So this, you can in theory do this so that you can huddle with students if you want to, and give them your ID. You can take a snapshot of your screen. You can record your screen. I have found, as you can see, I'm doing this on Screencastify, that the Screencastify is better. I've not done a whole lot with this, but you could meet with students on one-on-one if you wanted to on here. To be honest, there's some other methods for doing that, but if you wanted to, you could give this a roll. I have not. I've done the the idea of the the whiteboard. I've not done the classroom yet, to be honest with you. Now, if I go to follow me settings, this is where, under follow me settings, this is where I can set my whiteboard and background for colors for the whiteboard at school. For whatever reason, it lets me pick a color here. So I pick the default white. I can pick another one and set it as the default, for what I want the background to come up with at school. Now I can, on your whiteboard, your big whiteboard. Now you can set it for whatever you want. Right now I just picked the generic white, the preset background for education. Magic line pens, you can reset the magic line pens to have certain shapes. But those are for your magic line pens. And your shape pens, you can set them for the default, to be certain preset pens, if you're so inclined to do that. The other thing is, this is where your cloud integration is. So this is where you can bind it to your Google Drive or your OneDrive, or so on. So this is, the theme for me. I picked education. You can pick other ones. Show time. You can also show a grid. You can show the watermark if you wanted, the generic font size that it defaults to, on your whiteboard when you type. and then your pen width, the one that it actually, defaults to, and the pen color. These are the ones that it will default to if you're so inclined. So the pen color, actually, I'm going to change that right now to something else. I'm going to change it to more of a blue or a bluish color, actually. And then maybe, yeah, my pen width is good. And then my font colors are, I like blue, so then I can change that. And then when I next time on my whiteboard at school, it will come up. Next time on my whiteboard at school, it will come up. So the biggest thing, and then you could share your screen with a whiteboard, present your screen to a whiteboard. I suppose you could take your one at school and go to where it is live. The image, 8 to 10 is mine, and then I can share, with the view board. Now, again, because I'm not online, it's telling me the host is denied because since I'm doing this video from home. So the biggest aspects of this are the ability to, and then here we go. You can go into this is how a student would go into joining a classroom session. They would enter the classroom ID and then sign in to that. Students can do that from the whiteboard the whiteboard as well, on your homepage. So that or that from your view board at school as well. So these are some of the things they can do, from the website part of this. It's not, again. I'm not gonna oversell this. It's an option if you're working at home and want to huddle with students, or if you were doing something at home at night. Like I did something where I integrated a couple of photos, that a couple of graphic organizers that I wanted to use and make a video of, like I'm doing right now, just like I showed you a few minutes ago. And then I was able to mark them up, on a video. So I was able to kind of mark them up on a video, and it came in handy that way because the tools on Screencastify, for example, aren't very good. I don't find them to be very good. I actually found them to be a little better on my view board. So that would be your most practical use of my view board if you were at home and wanted to make a quick whiteboard of something to show. This is certainly an option to you. You wanted to make a video at home, and you needed pens and you needed something quickly to do that. This would certainly be, an option for you.